Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Hearthstone 4 Kaiserreich. As Turkey, let us continue on from where we last left off. So, we're giving more and more power to the Camelist. Not the Camelist, the Kadroist. And soon they should take power, I'm assuming. Because I haven't actually seen... Oh, well, we were trying to go full nationalization. They've elected a new party leader. Treaty with Greece. Several weeks now, Turkey officials have been in talks with emissaries from Greece about the possibility of a treaty cooperation. Okay, we agreed to everything but surrendering lands. I can be friendly with Greece. But I'm not going to give up an inch of Turkish soil. I mean, sure, it's Greek territory, but you're not having it. Yeah, Iran's declared war on Azerbaijan, which means Iran has actually now effectively declared war on the Reichspakt. Not that I think that matters too much. Got a non-aggression pact with Greece, 100 political power, and Azerbaijan has fallen. Popular sovereignty and civil independence. One more research slot. I mean, yeah, let's go. Give me an extra research slot, please. Okay, Germany and Iran has already ended hostilities. I'm guessing because Azerbaijan's been killed. And they didn't even get any land out of it, which is hilarious. The Malay system consists of giving a certain degree of autonomy to different minorities of the empire in the application of their religious laws. The collection of these taxes or their own local heretical system. In the Muslim religion, for example, the ulama is headed by the Shaykh al-Islam, who dictates religious law on the basis of the Sharia. This is an unequal system for many people, especially in terms of criminal and commercial rights. It has existed since the Tanzimat period. However, the system is beginning to show its age and is not fit with a modern and advanced state. Turkey shall become. Seeing how the idea of popular sovereignty or the equality of all Turkish citizens, regardless of religious affiliation before the law, has become increasingly popular, our government has decided that it is about time to abolish the Malay system and enshrine the principle of equality before the law in the Constitution. Excellent. It means we have 10% now, so what we can do... You know what, women? I'm going to give you some rights. Congratulations. Following that, with 180 political power... I'm going to go for, like, construction speed. You just gave me 8 steel. I don't know why I find that so funny. Synthetic. I guess we'll go with the, we'll go with you. Industry bonus as well as construction speed bonuses. Actually, thinking about it, I should have gotten bonuses that would boost up my infrastructure, because that is still taking freaking forever. Okay, there we go. You're not in a faction. Chile's in the International. Brazil is in the Entente. So I guess you're all at war with each other. Who's landed up here? Belafrica's invaded Tripolitania. Okay, fair enough, I guess. Okay, Georgia has fallen. Russia will now probably send units elsewhere now. Which I guess makes sense. Iraqi question. I don't think we want to get any of this stuff done yet. Have I screwed this up by in case the Kadro movement comes to power? Hey, we can install some loyal administrators. Let's go. So we can have some loyalists in Constantinople. Actually, this isn't even Constantinople. It's this state right here. So are the Kadroists not gonna come to power? I genuinely don't know. During the nationalization issue, the party voted to nationalize the majority of the goods. It means production useful to the state. During the party crisis, most deputies took refuge in the Kadroist ring. Mehmet Recep Pasha, an extremist close to Kemal. Did I take the wrong person? I'm an idiot. Oh my god. I'll be right back. We're gonna get back to this point. But I will actually have chosen the right person. I'm bad at this. 1 second. Okay, so I'm back. I probably spent about like 20 minutes doing a little bit of behind the scenes research here on how we actually get the Kadroist to take power. Well, it is apparently tied to traditional resistance. We need this number to be very, very high. So high, in fact, that for this modifier, it's considered extreme. Or, like, very strong. Whatever the wording was. However, based on the decisions that I have taken thus far, it is impossible for me to actually have the coup. Like, even if we do everything we can to piss off the traditionalist, we will not be strong. We will not piss them off enough to trigger the coup event. So, we're just going to cheat. Because it needs, I'm guessing it needs to be at like 75% resistance. So if you're not going into this event knowing that you need to piss off the traditionalists as much as possible, it's not going to work. As you can see, the amount of times I was trying to just see what events would get me to where I need to be. So you want to do event, I think it's tur.30. And here we go. So it needs to, okay, yeah, it needs to be extreme, which we did not achieve. The Kadroist wing of the party takes power. By now, more than a third of the People's Party members have joined the Nationalist wing, which has grown very attached to the ideas of the Kadroist, a group of individuals wanting to save Turkey from liberal politicians. Seeing the party split in two under his leadership, Ismet decided to retreat from politics and resign under the post of president. Thinking that he has failed his dear friend Kemal. Thereafter, the party voted on who should become Ismet's successor. The majority of Kemal's young protege, Recep Peker, the latter de facto leader of the Nationalist wing, proclaimed the beginning of a new era for Turkey and promised to succeed where the moderates failed. Following his rise to power, Peker concluded an official alliance with the Kadroist and integrating them into the Nationalist wing of the party, which was then renamed into the Kadroist wing. The Kadroist wing are interested in the extremist movements of the country, close to totalism and communism, and argue that in order to save the country from the unstable political situation in the Weltkrieg, they'll have to draw inspiration from these extremes and use them to accordance with Kemalism. In practice, this means that they'll introduce great social reforms and combine them with a populist and nationalist economy. Turkish revolution has begun. So we are now led by the National Populist. We'll very, very soon be able to bring in the Totalist. And then we need to get it down to Permanent Revolution, I think, to actually have the Totalist in power. Which requires us to get all of this stuff done. I mean, this allows me to join the Internationale maybe even prior to doing Permanent Revolution. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Yeah, so let's read about some of this stuff. The development methods of European and Asian countries have diverged in the capitalist era. In order to achieve independence from European powers, the foundations of liberalism must be abolished. The theoreticians of the Kadro paper believe, like Lenin, that from a fundamental point of view, the national political independence from each colonized country and almost each colonized country would allow the destruction of the capitalist imperialist status quo. Can you join? I mean, we'll get the option to join the International now. I can't imagine that we will be able to join while we're still National Populist, right? But what if we could? That'd be kind of interesting, right? Also, we got our fifth text log here. Let's go. I don't even know what to research. You know what? Nuclear weapons? Boom, done. Let's get some Turkish nukes. I mean, we'll definitely not play long enough to actually see that play out, but, you know, we can always hope. By the way, Communist of France doing a pretty bad job, all things considered. Even if they have Switzerland. Usually Switzerland's a pretty strong ally of theirs when it comes to actually defeating France. You're no longer Totalist. Oh yeah, they have an election in 1941. I guess they went back to being Syndicalist. Well, the more you know, because I don't think I've ever seen this man in my entire life. He's returned from captivity in Germany and finds France forever changed. His personal translation from modern socialist to Leninist and now National Syndicalist instilled in him. So he's a National Syndicalist who is Syndicalist. Is France going to die before we can actually intervene? It's looking more and more likely as the days go on. We'll get some aluminum from you. Rubber we'll get from the Dutch East Indies. Tungsten, we're only at -1. I'm not going to worry about that too much. I mean, Russia is not doing a great job. None of the other Balkan countries have joined up with Russia yet. I mean, they should, in due time. I just don't know how long that'll actually take. 168 political power. What do I want to do with you? Brand battle plan. Mobile warfare. I mean, we're not using either of those. Soft attack, a little bit of everything. You know what? Just give me a little bit of everything. It's a little bonus across the board. Is France going to completely, like, collapse? I mean, the Dutch aren't in the war. Norway's not doing very, very well. I mean, if we can maybe get, like, a naval invasion. I mean, Denmark did stay aligned with Germany. I think there is a non-insignificant chance that France might collapse prior to us actually being able to join the Internationale, which would be kind of funny in like a in a strange way. Okay, give me some armored cars. We can deploy those into our battalions that we use to suppress resistance. Not that we actually, I think, have any yet, but eventually I'm pretty sure we will. So this makes sense. Let's go for 1942 recon. I'm more than happy to see that. Ireland's declared war on Northern Ireland. Are you in a faction? You're in the Reichspakt. How is Germany doing so well? What's the difference between this run and the frickin' the American Union State run we just had? And all of a sudden Germany is an absolute beast. I don't know. So let's mix Western populisms. The Cadro paper is a mixture of European populist and nationalist ideas immersed in a fundamental Marxist logic in the thought of the Kadroist authors. However, as Marxism did not allow them to grasp the concept of nation and nationalism, by rejecting racism and imperialism, they were able to grant their nationalist principle to this quasi-Marxist ideology. They rejected the national populist principle of eliminating class through corporatism. Okay, so they're rejecting Marxism because Marxism's not racist and anti-imperialist, and they're rejecting national populism because it's corporatist. At least that's how I think I'm reading it right. So they're like, you know, they're doing their own thing, man. Serbia's declared war. Okay, so Serbia's going to join up with Russia. Oh, we're actually going to move away from Constantinople. We're going to move over to Ankara. Constantine has been our nation's capital since it's been conquered by Sultan Mehmed II in 1453. Sadly, in the past few years, Constantine has lost much of its glory and glamour that once earned it the name the City of the World's Desire. It has become a place of political intrigue and has been corrupted by the schemes of those hungry for power. While this has also been a problem in past centuries, with numerous sultans dying prematurely or being forced to abdicate the throne. The situation developed into a nightmare at the end of the empire's as the empire drew closer. The general political instability of the capital, which has been amplified by the outbreak of the Desert War, has caused numerous assassination attempts, the formation of various secret organizations, and a general mistrust and dissent of the population. A few weeks back, Mehmed Recep Pasha and his government has been decided that this has been polluted and corrupted city should no longer be considered the home of the Turkish people. Instead, they think the capital of the Turkish state should lie in the hills of Anatolia, in the city of Ankara. Its central position makes its city both of strategical and geopolitical importance, and ensures that our citizens living on the eastern border no longer feel like they are being ruled from the capital that lies far away on the other side of the world. While someone points out that Ankara is a relatively poor city and thus not represented the entire nation of Turkey, Mehmed Recep Pasha insists on his decision, arguing that relocating our capital into the area will foster the economic growth of the city. Furthermore, he's also planned the expansion of Ankara's infrastructure in order to make it more appealing to the outside world. So we've got a brand new capital. Much easier to defend. The American Union State has been completely destroyed. Okay, Albania and Serbia now in the Moscow Accord. Romania should join soon. I mean, they don't have to, because, I mean, Russia does have a claim to Bessarabia. I don't know if they're going to do anything about it. Bulgaria should also, yeah, be in the Moscow Accord now. If I was Russia, I would really want Romania in my faction so that I can actually move troops into Serbia. Commune of France, I'd be very happy if you could just survive a little bit. I mean, how close are they? I mean, I think they're not that close. But it still scares me a little bit, you know? Yeah, so for this we need both of you. High Command, Theorist, Chief of the Army. Planning speed. What do I want? So we can only have you if we're National Populist. But that's not going to last too long. For the simple fact that we are going to go Totalist very soon. And we're no longer going to be National Populist. Because right now we're National Populist like Romania and Russia, but again that will change. Armenia's gone Totalist, and maybe me and them can find common ground. Technologies. What do we want to take? 42 rifles. I think that seems more than reasonable in this situation. The one that I currently find myself in. France. I don't know what's wrong with you, man. How many troops does Germany have? Do they just have like a stupidly large army? Britain, how many men do you have? 27 to 80? I mean, it's an interesting situation that we find ourselves in. Let's go for the total welfare state. The Caddo paper argued for the elimination of the private sector from decision making. They believe that the state should be the one who is responsible for the larger part of the industrial investments. Therefore, a planned static economic development would restrain the formation of social classes by consciously bringing about an intellectual cadre, which would stand independent from any social class and would consider the national interest the highest priority. But I think that at least for right now, it's going to be a good time for us to end this episode. I know it's going to be a little bit on the shorter end, but I've done a lot of background work here. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, give a thumbs up. Not enjoyed, please thumbs down. If you want to see more, subscribe, and goodbye.